Hey folks, welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Dad channel. Today we're showing you how to take out your old dishwasher and replace it with a new one. This really isn't that hard of a job. There's not a whole lot of specific things or tools you need, so stay tuned. Give this channel a great big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. Let me know what other kind of stuff you want to see around your house. So here's the new unit sitting out in the garage right now. I haven't put it in. It is a Bosch, and Bosch are actually pretty expensive units, but I went into Consumer Reports and actually the highest rated Bosch was actually the least expensive one. So you can pick up a Bosch, which is higher rated than a lot of the other units, for about the same price. You've just got to make sure you get the right one. Now before you start, reference the top of the box. Here, the top of the box is going to tell you everything you need. So make sure that you have the right connection here for power, and then you also need the correct water connection. So you want to reference these and make sure underneath your sink you've got the right ones. Now you are going to need a supply line, and there's a lot of different options for supply lines. I'm going to show you the one that I chose. Now this is the supply line that I'm going with. It is a stainless steel line. When you pick out your line, go underneath your sink and make sure you have the right connections on here, and you won't need adapters. This is a 3/8 compression fitting, and then it has the correct fitting for the dishwasher, and these all vary. I do have a link to this one in the description below, as well as this one, so you can check out which dishwasher that we decided to go with. So now we're going to start the process of removing the old dishwasher and getting the new one in. Now before you start doing anything with your dishwasher, the first thing you want to do is make sure you unhook the water supply so you don't wind up having a leak later. So you want to come in here, find your cabinet, find the line that's coming from your dishwasher, follow it back to this, and in this case I have a 1/4 turn valve, so I can turn this thing over and cut off my water supply. That way I won't have any leaks later. The other thing to remember to do is to unplug the power supply so you don't get a shock. The thing to be aware of is some of these have a fascia plate on the bottom that will kind of pin them in, so you do have to remove this as well on most models. So let's go and take these out and pull this thing out. Now with those front plates removed, we can now see what we're dealing with on the underside. Now you can see here, there are these little feet, and these are adjustable in height, and on the back there are wheels. Now if you have a situation like mine where my wood floor is higher than the ground here, you may have to raise these feet up, and they are threaded, so you can actually work them up and give you a little bit of clearance before rocking this thing out and pulling it out. Now we can come in and actually unhook the supply line. Now you will probably get a little bit of water out of this, so if you're concerned about that, you can leave a bowl or something like that underneath it to catch any water that comes off the line. And then our last thing to unhook in here is the drain line, and the drain line will run up underneath the sink and to your vent, the bottom side of your vent. So we're going to loosen up this band clamp and remove the drain line. Now with everything loosened up top, the feet raised up on the bottom, and we've made sure that everything underneath is disconnected, it's time to roll this thing out. Now you're going to have to lift it up a little bit, and those little feet we're going to put on this cardboard. And it's a good idea to put some cardboard down if you've got a nice floor to protect the floor, because you never know what's gotten stuck on those feet or on those rollers over the years. So now we've got our new washer out and ready to install. We got the old one out, and it's going to come with a couple things. It's going to come with a bag of hardware, a drain line that hooks up to your vent, and then usually these will not come with a power cord installed. So you will have to install a power cord. Now you can take it off your old unit, or if this is your first time putting one in, you'll have to pick up an appliance power cord. And to get all that stuff, in the case of this one, we're actually going to flip the whole thing onto its back so we can install all this stuff on the underside before we slip it in. So now we've got the unit flipped onto its back. We do have the piece of towel down there to protect the floor, and we've got a couple things to hook up. We have our drain line right there. It does come with the drain line. Up here we have our water supply lines. We're going to go and install that. And then over here on this side we have our power box that we're going to run the new cord into. So let's get those taken care of. Now the first thing we're going to install here is the water line, and that's this piece right here. So it does have a little filter there in place. We're going to leave that in there, and I like to use stainless steel. They do have this stuff in cheaper plastic. I wouldn't use it just so you don't get leaks. When you do put this in, make sure the gasket is in there. Sometimes when you buy these, the gasket is not installed, but you do need that in place. So we're going to put that in here and tighten that up. Now this is plastic down here, so you don't need to really over tighten this. You just need to tighten it enough that it makes a good seat and a good seal. Now our next step is to install the drain hose. Now the drain hose, you follow the drain hose down here, and you've got this connection here. Now depending on your model, it may come with these kind of clamps or one of the band clamps. Either way, you're going to install it over like this. You want to get it completely on there, and then make sure you take that clamp and move it up so it clamps the two hoses together. Now our next step is to install the electrical here, and every system's a little bit different. Some are going to use wire nuts. These use these really nice clamps here. So we're going to connect all these up. So green goes to ground, white goes to neutral, and then our live wire is black right over here. Follow the instructions for your washer because they may all be a little bit different. And there you go, these are all set. Now you can button up this box, and now we have everything on the underside of our washer installed. We can flip it back up on its bottom and slide it in and install it the rest of the way. Now with all of our lines hooked up and everything down there on the floor next to it, we're going to slide it back in place. Now we have to go carefully and take a couple little steps through here to make sure that all those get fed in and underneath the sink, but we're going to slowly push it back and feed those into the cabinet. Once you've got this fitment correct, you can come in here and mount the mounting tabs. These are what's going to hold the whole thing in place. Then secure the brackets to the underside of your counter. Now we can hook back up our feed line here. So now that we've got everything hooked up and tight down here, we can open up our water valve to our washer. And now we want to check everything for leaks. The first thing to check is here. And on most washers, you should be able to see the supply hose down here. Check that for leaks as well. If you don't find any leaks, you can go ahead and start the washer up and run its first cycle. Now with it running, you're not quite done yet. You do still want to make sure that there are no leaks underneath when it starts to drain, and also up at the air gap. Now if this video helped you out at all, give me a great big thumbs up and click that subscribe button down below. I also have a video about how to clean a dishwasher if yours just needs a good cleaning. So check that video out, it's in the description below as well. And as always, thanks a lot for watching.